here's the way this will unfold. So at first, they're going to freak out because they won't know what to do with you. It's going to be unsettling to them because they've got this pattern going. We're bad and you respond. We're bad and you respond. We're bad and you respond. Hey, my reputation's at stake, they're going to say. So we want you to keep responding, but your response is going to be different. In other words, when you're in alignment with them, and a lot of what they do is going to make you laugh.
Okay, yes.
A lot
of what they
do. Well, why not laugh? It's funny. Did you sign some oath that you would lose your sense of humor when you became a teacher?
No, but they say you're not supposed to smile till December.
So what you want to do is laugh. You want to respond to them like a real person in the vortex. Because when you're in the vortex, it's like when you watch your little child learning to walk and they stumble and fall like they do constantly in the beginning. You don't say, get up, you little dummy. Can't you see the rest of us? We're up here like this. We're walking around. We're not falling down all over the place. Come on, get with it, get with it, get with it. That dog is only a month old and he's walking all over the place. What's wrong with you? Get up, get up, get up. You allow them the opportunity to find their balance. And so we want you to allow yourself the opportunity to find your balance, and we want you to allow them the opportunity to find your balance. But we want you to have fun in the process. You see, the reason that the stakes feel so high to so many people is because they're outside the vortex and they're pinching themselves off from the infusion of love and all the resiliency. In other words, it feels like shortage consciousness because they're not allowing the infusion of alignment. But when you spend more time in the vortex, especially on a subject that you're dealing with all day, every day, you're going to begin feeling wonderful, and then you're going to begin to respond to them, and you'll get so good at this, you'll be able to distinguish when they are in the vortex. Here's what we're getting at. Sometimes, oh, this is so good. Sometimes those two are the only two in the vortex in your classroom. Now, sometimes they're not also, but often they're in the vortex. You see, isn't it interesting? So when you're in the vortex and they're in the vortex and they say something funny and you look at them in your alignment, and as you behold them with all of this you, source energy, you flowing through, and you say to them, good one. No, seriously, good one. Or you say, you've missed your calling. Or Conan O'Brien, move over. Because he was just like that when he was your age. In other words, as you play with them from your sincere place of alignment, two things are going to happen. First, you'll start refueling them from your resourcing of source yourself. And the other thing that will happen is they will lose their sense of embattlement with you and begin to feel a harmony with you that they don't really understand. And it won't be too long before you'll say enough things like that they'll begin to feel that you may very well be the path to what they are reaching for. We would so love to hear a teacher say to kids of nearly any age. What are these ages?
9 to 11.
So we would love to hear you say to them, well, here we all are together. We're all sort of locked in here. Mm-hmm. I'm probably here more by choice than any of the rest of you. And there have been days that I've wondered what I was thinking. And then I remember that there isn't anything more fun than being with a bunch of kids who are still eager about life, who still can learn so easily. And I realized that I want to be a kid forever. So I decided I was going to hang out with kids. They'll like that. Mm-hmm. But then I came to this place where they don't think that I should be one of you. They think I should be the boss of you. And I thought, I just don't see how that's going to work out. Because when I was a kid, I didn't like anybody trying to be the boss of me. So here I am. They think I'm the boss of you. And I know no one can be. Because we are all the boss of ourselves. So here we all are together, each one of us the boss of ourselves. But I do have power. I do have power. But I want to use it lovingly. I want to use it with fun and kindness. And so here's my promise to you. I want us to have the best time ever here. And when I think about a good time, I don't just think about fun. Well, no, I do. I just think about fun. Fun is the best way that I learn. So I want to make this classroom as much fun as I can. And what I've discovered as I've been interacting with a lot of you is that there's as much for me to learn from you and you to learn from each other as there is from you to learn from me. In other words, this is like and use the word, co-creative experience where we're all in this together. So I don't want this to just be this thing where I've got this book and I'm trying to impart this stuff to you. I want this to be an experience that causes us all to expand, me and you and you and you and you, in fun. And I believe that no matter what, we can have fun and we can have expansion and we can have learning and we can keep everybody happy that's watching over all of us while we're in here just doing what comes naturally to us. In other words, just have this heart to heart to heart with them. And then if those two are over there yakking it up or kicking it up or interrupting, then look right at them and say, and you two, I expect to have more fun with you two than anybody else, because I can tell that you are looking for it in a stronger way than anyone else. In other words, sort of call them out in a positive way. Now, they're not going to take anything that you direct at them as positive in the beginning, because they've already separated you from them. And then just let that be your vibrational mantra and give them bits and pieces of it every day. Now, as we give this to you, we can feel that the basis of it feels right to you. And much of what we said feels possible to you. And some of it felt impossible to you.
That may be coming from as far as that there was an administrative side to my position, and wanting to continue to do what I do without being seen as a rebel or doing things that are...
Well, here's the thing. You have a group of children who you're trying to join in the vortex for the purpose of fantastic co-creating. There's no other teacher in your classroom in that mix. And by you joining with them, you'll get what you came to be a teacher about. You didn't come to... this isn't about who's going to see you as a rebel.
Well, if administration walks in and sees something different.
Like learning and fun.
Fun's not allowed in school. But yeah, no,
we think that that's more something that you are assuming than is reality.
No.
We are certain that anyone who's in the game of education and in the game of interacting with children, if they come into a classroom where there's a lively discussion and eagerness present and lights in the eyes of the children and you are engaging, you will be given an award for it.
You're right.
You see.
I just need to release any fear that I've got from any past experiences and just allow myself to get in the vortex, help my students get there, and enjoy the process of learning.
Perfectly said. We have one more thing to give you. So we were talking with someone the other day about money, and we pointed out that most people are outside the vortex feeling the shortage of the pie, saying the pie only has this much money in it, and if that guy gets a lot and that guy gets a lot, then there's not enough for the rest of us. So there's a limitation of the resources. And we said, if you are dealing with what's manifested, and if you are standing outside the vortex, then you have this limited amount that you're trying to divvy out. But there's another pie going on over here that is constantly expanding, that is completely unlimited. And any shortage that you feel in your reality pie only puts more abundance in this vortex. So the same thing applies with this school situation. In other words, there is a reality that is not so different than you've described it. They don't know what they're doing. Most teachers are not very happy in school. The kids are not very happy in school. They're not getting the results that they really want. In other words, it's a big mess. The education is sort of a big mess, or at least it's a big debate about whether it's a big mess or not out there. But in all of that, there is a vortex reality that has been created that you have to line up with if you are ever to feel fulfilled. In other words, so over here there might be an administration that acts squirrely because they don't know, not one of them have made a list of positive aspects about anybody in the school ever. In other words, they're not even trying to get into their vortex because they don't even know about their vortex. They're over there squabbling over the resources that exist while you're over here with all of this fantastic knowledge and understanding and infusion, you see. So we promise you, when you are in the vortex and when you're thinking about being there and when you're teaching from the vortex, get into the vortex and then go to school. Get into the vortex and then drive your car. Be in the vortex and then have a discussion with your kids. Be in the vortex and then do your presentation. Be in the vortex and then have a conversation. And if you're not in the vortex, then don't try very hard to make anything happen until you get back into the vortex. And what you're going to discover is the reason that you began all of this to begin with was because everything that you want, every time a teacher mistreated you, you put something different in the vortex. Every time you were bored in school, you put something different in the vortex. Every time you had fun, you put that in the vortex too. In other words, you built up a magnificent relationship between teachers and kids. This is a long period of time at very early formative years with these kids that they are being trained by most educational systems out of their vortex. And every one of them wants, more than life itself, to be in the vortex. They just don't know it. So when they find a music teacher or a sports coach or someone who has begun to understand what it's like to be in the vortex, they really take to that in a very powerful way. And you can consciously do that, you see, without making any waves. You won't make any waves over there in the manifested world because you are spending time in your vortex world. You will not make any waves. The universe will only bring cooperative components to you. If you don't keep beating the drum that they're going to come in and catch you being a really good teacher, they're going to come in and catch me, they're going to catch me being tuned in, tapped in, turned on, they're going to catch me engaging on a soul level with kids that are soaring for the first time in education in a long time. They're going to catch me becoming the favorite mentor and teacher of these kids year after year after year. They're going to catch me. We say, good, maybe it'll catch on a little bit. Maybe they'll begin asking you, what are you doing in here? Your kids love to be in this classroom with you. What are you doing different? And you have one answer to those who won't understand. I just love them so much. I think they just can't help but feel good in this classroom. You love them so much? What about those two? I love those the most of all. I've learned the most from those two. Those two made me the teacher that I am today. I have everything that is good about teaching in me. I owe it to those two.
Thank you.